against him.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. From the gun, it's Brady. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Brady to throw for it on 4th down. And he's got Lockett. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. A quick throw out to Lockett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. A look at the numbers for Lockett from a week ago. 6 catches, 66 yards.
Now it's a nice job there for him that one in. Now this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit. And this is a guy the defense has had better focus on.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now on 2nd and 13. Brady. Gonna throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Brady. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to the running game with Mostert. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and inches.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brad, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. They'll run with Mostert, and they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3, he got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on, and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Justin Jefferson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Takes this about 5 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmaker...
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. JPP cruising in for the sack that time.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Returnable for Lockett. 51 yards on the punt there. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
First play of the drive is success, 19 yards.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one good for 37 yards. Brady to throw again.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt. They'll run with Mostert, and he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 4th touchdown on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half. He'll just take a knee in there. The Browns drive about to get started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
back to the air on second down. It's Murray.
That's complete to Jonathan Taylor out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
He'll get that one to Taylor complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
A final shot before half for Murray. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Niners who have the lead in that one. Lamar Jackson has a touchdown pass. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Hunter Renfrow, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Eagles still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. In the game you're watching, it's who else? Tom Brady with a strong first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And he's up past the... ...20 to the 22-yard line.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22.
So here's Washington now to take over.
They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. And now this pass brought in by Brown. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Left side complete to Lockett. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Brady's throw there complete.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
And the Washington first down.
From the gun, a run with Mostert.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
2nd and inches.
Once again, it's Mostert.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 29. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Here we go! Here we go!
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Raheem Mostert, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And Washington going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And their halftime hold now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. You just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They run once more with Taylor. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Murray now on first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's Khalil Mack, the all-pro, in there to get him behind the line.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here's Murray from midfield. And that's complete to Jesse James.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line.
34-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Shotgun now for Murray. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Well, here comes Reynolds as they try the jet sweep.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Jason Pierre-Paul. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to in the game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They'll stay on the ground with Mostert.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator is going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. Tyler Lockett was the target there, but it'll be 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Brady.
Now looks for Lockett once more. This time he's got it.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt the return. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. 13 yards remaining on 2nd down.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. Now it's Lockett. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They'll start on the ground with Mostert.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8. At the 30.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the deep.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, Raheem Mostert, we know the story, from special teamer to postseason hero. All he needs is a little bit of space, CD, and he can do the rest.
And they've had little to no success stopping him on the ground all game long because that's his 3rd touchdown of the game, and by far the best touchdown of the bunch. They came into this game knowing that they needed to rely on him, and the defense knew they needed to slow him down, yet he's delivered in a big way, and he's been sensational.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. That's complete to his running back, Taylor.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the post game. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
First down, Murray. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Rashard Higgins was the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again. Murray. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray.
But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Murray, one final try. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
So a victory here for the Washington football team.
And I tell you what,